You cannot stop reading bad news. You refresh the same 3 apps before you have even had coffee. Thumb flicking past headlines about collapse, betrayal, disaster, and threat, while the ordinary good day being lived by most of the 7 billion people on this planet sits ignored a few inches below the fold. The room is dim except for the screen light on your face. Your jaw is tight. Your shoulders are up near your ears. You tell yourself you are just staying informed. Keeping up, being responsible. But the real answer is far stranger than simple habit. Your brain did not evolve to keep you informed. It evolved to keep you alive, and staying alive meant treating every scrap of possible danger as more urgent than any amount of visible safety, no matter how much safety was actually out there. 200,000 years ago, on the open grassland of the African Savanna, someone from your band stands at the edge of camp as the light fails, eyes fixed on the line where the grass meets the sky. A thin column of smoke rises where no cook fire should be. It might be nothing, lightning, a dying ember, another band's fire burning low. Or it might be the first sign of a grass fire racing toward the children asleep behind them, or raiders testing the tree line before dark. The watcher who looks away and is wrong does not get a second look. The watcher who stares too long at nothing loses only a few minutes of their evening. In 2001, psychologist Paul Rozin reviewed decades of data spanning finance, relationships, health outcomes, and public opinion, and found the same pattern everywhere he looked. Negative events, negative information, negative feedback all carry more psychological weight than positive events of an equal size. He called this negativity dominance. Losing a sum of money hurts more than gaining the same sum feels good. One harsh comment outweighs 5 kind ones in memory and mood. Bad reputations are harder to repair than good ones are to build. Does that sound familiar yet? A single headline about a collapse outweighs 100 headlines about things that quietly held together, and those 100 headlines were never even written, because nothing that holds together looks like smoke on the horizon. In 1991, psychologist Shelley Taylor proposed what she called the Mobilization-Minimization hypothesis. Her argument, backed by physiological and cognitive evidence, was that bad events demand an urgent mobilization of attention, memory, and bodily resources, because a threat has to be dealt with immediately or it gets worse. Good events, by contrast, can be processed later, calmly, without cost, because nothing about them requires speed. Your system is built asymmetrically on purpose. Think about what that means for a headline about a war on another continent, one you cannot affect in any way. Your ancient mobilization system still floods full attention onto it. The same system built for a grass fire 50 yards from camp, because it cannot tell the difference between a threat you can act on and one you can only read about. Oxford psychologist Elaine Fox spent years studying what she calls the negativity bias in attention itself, using eye tracking to show that when people scan a crowd of faces, their eyes locate the one angry or fearful face faster than they locate a happy one, even when the happy faces outnumber it many times over. This is not a choice. It happens before conscious thought engages. A visual search built to find the exception, not the majority. Your eyes do the same thing scrolling a headline feed. They catch the word collapse, the word killed, the word warning, before they register anything neutral sitting beside it. The scan is not lazy, it is precise, and it is old. In 2014, political scientists Marc Trussler and Stuart Soroka ran an experiment at McGill University. They asked participants which kind of news stories they preferred, and most said they wanted more positive, solutions-focused coverage. Then Trussler and Soroka tracked what those same participants actually clicked on when left alone with a feed of real headlines, using eye-tracking equipment to measure genuine attention rather than self-report. The stated preference and the actual behavior did not match. People reliably selected stories about corruption, conflict, and disaster over neutral or uplifting ones, regardless of what they had just claimed to want. You are not lying when you say you wish the news were kinder. Your stated preference is sincere. It is simply not the part of you doing the choosing. Soroka went further with colleague Stephen McAdams, measuring skin conductance and heart rate while participants simply watched television news clips play out. Negative stories produced measurably stronger physiological spikes than positive or neutral ones. Sweat response, heart rate, the whole ancient alarm chemistry, triggered by footage of something happening to strangers on a screen. Your body was not asking whether the danger was real or distant. It was reacting the way a watcher reacts to smoke, before the mind has finished deciding what the smoke means. Here is where it turns. That ancient watch position, built for a world where smoke on the horizon was rare and almost always meant something, now sits inside an information environment engineered to keep producing smoke on purpose. Headline writers test dozens of phrasings against real audiences and keep the ones that pull the most clicks, which are reliably the most alarming ones. Recommendation systems are trained on engagement, and outrage, and fear generate more engagement than calm reporting ever will. So the system learns to feed you more of exactly what your ancient watcher cannot look away from. This is not a glitch in the news. It is the business model, built directly on top of a warning system that was never designed to be lit deliberately, over and over, every few minutes, forever. None of this makes you weak or paranoid or addicted to misery. You are running a watch system built across hundreds of thousands of years to treat rare, distant signs of danger as worth your full attention, because in the world that built it, that rule kept people alive. The system is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do at exactly the sensitivity it was calibrated for in an environment that manufactures far more smoke than any ancestor ever faced in a lifetime. You were never meant to stand watch this many hours a day. So instead of asking why you cannot stop reading the bad news, try asking a better question when the headline grabs you. Is this smoke real and near, something I can actually act on? Or is it distant smoke I am only being shown because alarm sells better than calm? Ask what, if anything, changes because you know this. If the answer is nothing, you are not failing to respond to a threat. You are simply standing watch over a horizon that was built to never run out of smoke. You are scrolling again, thumb flicking past headlines about collapse, betrayal, disaster, and threat, the room dim except for the screen light on your face, jaw tight, shoulders up near your ears, telling yourself you are just staying informed. But now you know the watcher in you is not broken, only stationed at a horizon that keeps sending signals on purpose, long after the fire that trained it ever burned out.